I want to break something down a little bit because I still think it's very relevant. Scottie Pippen once said LeBron James doesn't have that killer instinct or the clutch gene, you could say, like Michael Jordan did. And when he said that, it reignited that GOAT debate that's going on around the NBA. Now, let me get into this, but first, welcome. My name is Paul, and this is the basketball show where I talk today's NBA, current events, news, players, and more. All completely unbiased, even though some people disagree, because any opposing opinion to weak people is always hating. Truth is truth, and I try to stand by that. Because Scottie Pippen isn't just anyone, he was Jordan's right hand man during all six of his legendary championship runs. He saw MJ in the locker room, on the practice court, in pressure moments. And when a guy like that makes a statement about LeBron, people pay attention. But is he right? Is LeBron really missing something mentally that made MJ that GOAT candidate? Undisputed, pretty much? Or is this just another case of the old school generation, as they say, not understanding how greatness looks in the modern era? There is no greatness in the modern era. There is greatness, period. Let's break it all down, though, because this isn't just about two players. This is about how we define dominance in basketball. Now, Scottie Pippen was on a panel when someone brought up LeBron versus Michael Jordan. And he didn't hesitate. He said LeBron's not the same kind of killer like Mike was, and he doesn't have that gene that Mike had. Mike wanted to take your heart. He wanted to put you away. LeBron plays the right way, but he's not that kind of killer. Now, some fans immediately took that as a diss, but I don't think it necessarily was. Now, let's be clear. Scottie didn't say LeBron wasn't a great player. He said LeBron doesn't have the killer mentality and that clutch gene. And that's a key distinction. And we're not talking about clutch being a clutch performer, but that clutch gene meaning that killer instinct to take over a game. Because when MJ stepped on the floor, he didn't just want to beat you. He wanted to humiliate you, break your will, and then act like it was nothing. It wasn't just about scoring, it was psychological warfare. We don't see that from LeBron James. LeBron, he's always approached the game differently, more calculated. You could say he's a master of making the right play, as they say, even if that means not taking the shot. He's a facilitator by nature. People say LeBron makes the right basketball play, right? But so did MJ in Game 6 against the Suns, when he trusted his team and Paxson for that three. The difference? MJ had already imposed his will the entire game. He chose to pass. LeBron sometimes defers before even taking control of a game. So the question becomes, does being more of a playmaker mean you can have that killer mentality? So what's exactly that killer instinct in basketball terms? It's not about raw stats. It's a mindset. It's the player who, when the game is tight, says, "Give me the ball. I'm ending this crap." It's Kobe Bryant waving off teammates and drilling a fadeaway with three defenders on him. It's Reggie Miller dropping 8 points in 9 seconds. It's MJ calling game in Utah in Finals Game 6, 1998, stealing the ball from Malone and with ice in his veins. It's not always logical. It's not always efficient, but it's terrifying for the opposing team. And yeah, LeBron has had some of those moments as well. I mean, you got Game 6 against Boston 2012. You got the chase down block on Iguodala in 2016, multiple buzzer beaters in the playoffs. But ask yourself, when you think of LeBron, do you feel fear, or do you think players feel fear? Do you see that? Do you get that sense of ruthless inevitability the way you did with MJ or Kobe, like when they have the ball and they got to score a basket and you're a fan of the opposing team, you're like, oh man, this guy has the ball, we're done. You ever feel that? No. That's what Scottie's talking about. But let's flip the script a little bit for a second. LeBron doesn't play the game emotionally. He tries to play it like a chessboard, you could say. He tries to be two moves ahead of you. He manipulates defenses. He sets up teammates. He controls the game without always dominating the box score. Because where MJ would take your soul in a one-on-one matchup, LeBron will try to beat you using your whole team's weakness. Or at least he'll try. He'll make the smart pass 9 out of 10 times, as they say. He'll draw the double and find the open man most of the time. He is a good passer. We all know that. But looking at career stats, MJ really averages a little bit less than over 1 assist per game than LeBron James did. And yeah, maybe LeBron's game is less dramatic, or maybe he'll flop to get the ball back. And that's definitely less killer. Flopping? Big no-no. But it's still deadly, as you could say, in a lot of games, the way LeBron James plays. But I think it has a flaw. And I think that's the exact reason LeBron has so many losses in the NBA Finals. This isn't 1993 anymore, true. Today's NBA is built around versatility, spacing, and especially three-point shooting. So is it possible that killer instinct, while powerful, is just outdated? To me, absolutely not. If you're that great and want to take over a game and can, you should. You'll win more. Let's talk history for a minute here. Jordan came up in a league full of physicality and a lot of isolation play. You were expected to go one-on-one when you're a guy like Mike and take over. If you didn't, you could have been seen as soft. But Mike just took over, period. LeBron came into the league that had evolved a little bit already. Not entirely, but a little bit. More spacing, a little bit more movement, team basketball, all because, it was more important, you could say, due to analytics. The Spurs dynasty you had, Steve Nash's Suns, Golden State's pass-heavy offense, all influenced the modern game. So now we're comparing two players raised in two very different basketball cultures. Think of it this way. Jordan is like a gladiator. He went into the arena and fought mano a mano to destroy you. Like his life depended on it, period. LeBron is more like a great soldier and always part of the team, always doing the best thing for the team and his teammates. He commands the battlefield when the game calls for it most of the time, reads everyone's move, and tries to make precise decisions. One style isn't automatically better, it's just different. Nah, I'm joking here. MJ's style is better because MJ was all team as well. But he would make sure the whole team had the same killer mentality as him, or he would simply chew them out. LeBron is just not that kind of guy. And that's the gene. Today's players are too soft because they want to be treated gently. Even we had Charles Oakley say it a few years ago. You have to treat today's NBA players like child care, or they won't listen and respond. They're just locked down and be unhappy. And here is where it gets tricky. Because if you just look at the numbers, LeBron has been clutch. But no one looks at him and thinks to themselves, we got LeBron. He won't let us lose. You just don't have that feeling like you had with MJ. Chicago Bulls fans with MJ had that feeling. Like, we got MJ, we're not going down in this game or this series. So while the vibe may feel different, the result is a lot of times the same, but not always. But again, numbers can't capture presence. They don't show the fear in defenders' eyes when MJ had the ball. They don't capture the sense of, oh no, it's over. MJ's got the ball. MJ made him feel that way. So once again, Scottie's words come back to perception, and that's very important. And in a basketball game when you're fighting to win a tough game or a tough series. Here's the big question. Does killer instinct matter when we talk about the GOAT? Some fans say yes. I definitely say do. It does. It's everything. They want the guy who wants to rip your heart out. They believe greatness is about how you win, not just if you win. But I believe that greatness is if you win every possible game, every possible series, if you do everything you possibly can to win. And with LeBron James, we don't have that all the time. Other people say, no, it doesn't really matter. They point to longevity, adaptability, leadership, impact on and off the court. Well, we're talking basketball, so what the heck does off the court matter for? So does Scottie Pippen damage LeBron's case? Maybe Scottie's comments don't necessarily damage his case, but looking at who LeBron played with and how many finals he lost, that itself damages his case. Then you also have other things for LeBron, like his own teammates calling him out for quitting in the NBA Finals. And there are other things as well. MJ doesn't have any of those things on his resume. In the end, the GOAT debate comes down to personal values. You could say both win, but Mike, when he had his title teams and got that one title, he never lost until he simply walked away from the game. LeBron had his title teams with the Cleveland Cavaliers when he went there and won the title, where he beat the Warriors, and then he lost. He had Kyrie, Kevin Love. He had great teams. Then he had it with the Heat, where he won and then lost. He had Wade. He had Bosh. The narrative simply is that after MJ won with a team, he never lost unless he simply walked away and let someone else win. And you could talk about Dwayne Wade's injuries a little bit later. He was playing. He was really, really good. He had some knee problems. But look at MJ, one of those other seasons during that second three-peat, he had Scottie Pippen, who missed like 50 games in the season. So MJ carried the load. So here is where I land. Scottie's not hating. He's being honest. From his perspective, he stood beside a guy who wanted to annihilate everyone in his path. And that's greatness to me. There is no option to, I'll take it easy one night. That became the standard in his mind, to see Mike wanting to annihilate everyone every single night. LeBron's not MJ, and that's okay, because MJ wasn't LeBron either. If MJ was LeBron, he wouldn't be 6-0 in the NBA Finals. Simple as that. They are two all-time greats, and maybe that's what true greatness is. Just be great. But if you're great, it doesn't mean you're the greatest. Now, what do you guys think? Was Scottie being fair when he said that a while ago? Does LeBron's mentality hurt his case as the GOAT? Or does he just get there through a different path? You know my stance on it. I've been talking about it in previous videos many, many times. So sorry, but total stats don't make you the GOAT. Now let me know in the comments. I want to hear what side you're on. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you really want to support the channel and help me keep this going every single day, consider becoming a channel member. It helps me stay consistent and keep bringing you fresh content. Raw, unfiltered, unbiased, and all basketball. I appreciate all of you. See you in the next one. Thank you.